it's fairly curious that as a politician, I see a lot more fight and objection to every time you want to kill a crocodile to when you want to kill unborn babies. It's a very curious observation to make of our society and our politicians, that we meet a lot more resistance in the parliament for wanting to kill crocodiles and kill babies. They don't front with let's support the mothers more initially and look to adopt the baby or look for options after that. They just look primarily at how do we remove this situation for them in the short term and kill the baby.
The law in Queensland changed in 2018 to decriminalise abortion. There's now a push in Queensland for the state government to fund teleabortion services, and there's also a push for midwives and nurses to be able to prescribe the abortion pill to make it more widely available. Research shows that increasing the availability of the abortion pill increases the number of abortions. Do you think progressives would like us to believe that abortion is a settled question in Australia, even though events in the US where Roe versus Wade was overturned shows us that that is far from the case?
Well, I think anything like your euthanasia, abortion, the transgender issues, we're just going to keep coming back to them every 12 months. The major political parties need this sort of stuff to trade off, and somewhat argue it's a tail wagging the dog. Like they feel they've got to get in front of it, but people looking for them to provide leadership, and we're trying to do that in terms of the KAP is just maintain a set of values, and that's mostly a counterpoint to all sort of business. Yes, there seems to be some pretty robust debate in the United States around this. So that the debate's been raging in that Roe versus Wade, of following the Roe versus Wade in the US, and shows there's still there's still a significant other side to this. Everyone just makes the assumption that this is a given now in society, and all I can say is I think it's fairly curious that as a politician I see a lot more fight and objection to every time you want to kill a crocodile to when you want to kill unborn babies. It's a very curious observation to make of our society and our politicians, that we meet a lot more resistance in the parliament for wanting to kill crocodiles and kill babies. I think it says a lot about us, and this is another encroachment on those rights. And there'll be some people fielding some arguments for it, but we certainly will be the counterpoint for this, the KAP, and hopefully there's a lot of people out there that still believe that these activities aren't the best interests of our society, and that there's better ways to do this.
How do you think the debate has shifted? Because the recent Senate inquiry report that was the terms of reference was, how do we make abortion more widely accessible, rather than is this right or wrong? So the whole ground has shifted from being an ethical or a moral issue to becoming now just a purely, this is an issue of medical access.
Yep, and I'd argue I feel the full weight of that often, because being someone opposed to the practice of abortion, I've got a heavy percentage of the First Australian communities in my electorate, and there'd be an argument there, and as has been put to me by a number of friends, that poor unfortunate young female that falls pregnant unwillingly, perhaps, and I'm denying her that right. Well, keep saying that the cows come home, you're denying that baby a right to live. And what they forget to mention is that they don't look quite like the euthanasia. They don't focus on the supports, the palliative care. In terms of euthanasia, they don't focus on palliative care. They just go straight to making it easier for people to end their own life. And same with the babies. They don't front with let's support the mothers more initially and look to adopt the baby or look for options after that. They just look primarily at how do we remove this situation for them in the short term and kill the baby. So yeah, it's a very difficult one for us to move anywhere on, and there'll just be continual encroachment on it. I don't pay too much attention to where the debate's shifting, other than we just straight up and down oppose it. So I'll probably leave most others to commentate, and how the other side's going to shift around it.